go.
Coach, I guess same as last game, Harris and Mitchell are the two guys you really have to keep track of in the game.
Well, yeah, I think Joe Harris is one of the best players in the league. I think he's a first-team All-ACC caliber player, and he's definitely played that way. He's averaging almost 23 points a game since we played them. Just great player, really knows how to play, and can make a variety of shots, shooting great from the three. And Mitchell is really improved inside. But again, their parts are all good. They know how to play well together, and they've played exceptionally well at home.
And of course, Evans is a guy you don't want to have a good game against you. You want to control him.
Well, he's kind of the heart and soul of that team in terms of running the team and setting the tone for them defensively. And as a senior, for them to have the opportunity again to make it to the NCAA tournament, there's no question, in my opinion, which doesn't mean much, not on the committee, but they're an NCAA team. There's no question. And they're a team that can win a couple games in the tournament. They got a dynamic score, they rebound the ball well, and they play defense. And so when you have that, it's a pretty good combination.
First time around, you got some good balance scoring. 4 guys in double figures, shot the ball well. That's something you're looking for again this time.
I would take all of the above.
Yeah.
You have to play great defense on them, and then you have to figure out ways to score. A little bit in transition, a little bit inside, maybe a couple offensive rebounds, but eventually you're going to have to score in your half-court offense as well. And I thought we did a good job of kind of just hanging in there and waiting for our offense to click. And obviously those last 8 minutes, it really did.
Of course, most of the game you had the rebounding edge too. They had a few towards the end that were
right.
Really didn't factor in.
Yeah, the rebounding is key, because if you can get, they're so hard to score against. If you can get a couple easy baskets, like the putbacks or a transition basket here or there, makes a big difference. They control the tempo of the game a lot of times, and they're good at it. So you have to have quality possessions every time you get the ball.
You mentioned after the last game, the team was a little heavy-footed second half. How are they doing now in practice?
Well, I think we were short yesterday. We'll be short, and the thing is that it's the duration right now, and we got to just make sure we keep them, on task in terms of what we need to do on the court. We can't waste any time. Again, in this program, we go hard every day that we go, but it'll be a little shorter, more intense today, and then tomorrow before we take off. It's important. Again, we got another stretch where we go Sunday, Wednesday, Sunday again. So in a week span, we're playing 3 games again. So you got to, at this time of the year, make sure that the guys are fresh. Our energy level, fresh minds, fresh bodies are every bit as important as anything else you do.
When you're taking on a team that's lost 2 straight, it's almost how do you look at it as a coach? You're catching them at a good time, or is it always even more frightening because you never know when they're going to
Yeah, and those are both on the road, they let the game slip away a little bit at North Carolina. They had it in exactly where they wanted to, and give North Carolina credit. They're playing probably as well as anybody outside of probably Miami right now. At Miami, the Virginia score is tied with 15 seconds to go. So I'd like them never to win again, starting on Sunday. But they're good, and so they're going to come ready to go. And they know that they need to protect their home. They're fighting for an at-large bid right now, and they know that every game's important.
When defending a guy like Harris, last time was kind of defense by committee. Is that committee kind of chosen during the week, or is it kind of you get a feel for it as the game goes on? Who's kind of defending?
A little bit of both, to be honest with you. I think we prepared 2 or 3 guys to get ready because you got to keep fresh bodies on him. And then during the game, you kind of get a feel for who he's struggling against or who is doing something. I thought Marcus in the second half on him was great because Marcus' physicalness bothered him a little bit. He was able to crawl into him and pressure him a little bit. He had maybe his worst game of this season for sure. Not only shooting, but I think he had 6 turnovers as well. So in this game it could be Stacy could be the guy or Brandon Reed. You know what I mean? And we, because of our switching, other guys will be on him, and that's important that we always have someone right on his toes when he catches the ball.
Coach, you talked about the physical and mental
How hard is it to tell the difference between guys who are just tired or physically tired or mentally tired and just can't produce?
Well, you know, we do the whole heart monitor with the computer and all that stuff. So we have a pretty good read on the physical side of things. You know, I get my reports every single day from our strength and conditioning coach, and he lets me know great practice, or we need to do this tomorrow, or whatever the case might be. The mental, that's a lot harder to get a read on. And some of it is just spending time with the guys, and you're doing it without them maybe even knowing it. You know, how you feeling? You know, how's your legs feel today? Or, you know, what you ready for practice? Those type of things during the day when you see them as they come through your office, or they're across the hall, doing their tutoring and so forth. So you got to do a good job of spending time with them to get a good feel. You also have to trust your upperclassmen. You have to be able to bring Mufon in and Daniel in and say, okay, give me a read on the team. How we doing? Where we at mentally? What should we do? You know what I mean? And you got to trust those guys, and I do. I really do.
Results aside, are you doing things better on the road the past few games that you hadn't been doing earlier?
Yeah, I think so. I think we've kept our composure much better on the road than maybe some of the earlier games. Maybe not a true road game, but we played pretty well out in California. I thought we played well at Illinois. We played well to open up the ACC at North Carolina State, but we're more consistent over the 40 minutes, and we're putting ourselves in position. You know, the Virginia Tech game, we got out to a great start.
Right.
You know, so our guys have come out of the blocks with a pretty good energy level, which put us in a good position on the road.